show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown.
Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Blackout hour
We are back.
has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
Talking
back.
to town as usual.
Greetings and salutations.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot to talk about, man. It's Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Shout out to everybody that's in here.
Yeah, love y'all.
We're gonna get this thing going. So first and foremost, I want to say you deserve to be rich. You should get that book
For sure.
if you want to be rich. Vitally important manuscript. And EY University, I know Troy's got his options class coming up soon. I'm not sure exactly when the date is, but yeah, EY University, we cooking up in there. Shout out to all of the earners in their app and everything. And then also Carnegie Hall. We're 1 week away.
Yes.
We are 1 week away. February 27th is my birthday, and that's also the day that we will be at Carnegie Hall with Robert Smith, CEO of Louis Vuitton, Rakim. Will be
Hold on, don't skip over that though. Robert Smith and the CEO of LVMH.
Yeah. It's gonna be one of the ones, man. It's gonna be one of the ones. And then I am doing a after party. I'll be announcing it shortly. I was gonna announce it tonight on Blackout. But maybe I don't know. I'll think about this as we go through.
Come on, man. What's the hold up? Let the beat build.
Might have to let the beat build. We'll see. We'll depending on the show. Yeah. So we'll see.
The people want to know, man. What's up? They missed the Prince and Mix last year. Well,
Prince and Mix legendary situation.
Legendary
situation. So we'll see. But in the meantime, get your tickets to Carnegie Hall.
Yep.
Thursday. And following up on my black designer situation, today I got my guys Eastside Golf. Shout out to Olajuwon and Earl out of Atlanta. Eastside Golf, man, they've been killing the game. They have a partnership with Jordan Brand. So I said I'm gonna wear black-owned clothing brands for the foreseeable future. Blackout, and the hat is from Godspeed. Shout out to Godspeed, Nick, the whole team. Now I realized that when I said this last episode, I didn't give a PO box.
Oh, that would help.
I'm setting up my PO box now, so bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I will next episode. I will give you information on where to send merch. I had to set up the PO box. So, but once I tell you, feel free to send merch. Good merch.
Not the Gildan brand.
Yeah, I'm an extra large. If you got a black-owned clothing brand and it's fire, send me some merch. I will wear it on Blackout and I will give you a shout out. So, like I said, today's shout out is once again Eastside Golf. Dope logo. That's their logo with the gold chain golf. It's an interesting story. We did an episode with them. And the hat is courtesy of Godspeed.
Telling Godspeed. Hey, Godspeed. I don't know what y'all doing. Send an email. Info Earn Your Leisure. Shout out Earn Your Leisure. Brand ambassador #1. And this is for no equity that we're doing for these shout outs too. For now.
Okay. Yeah. Announcements?
Yes, if you want to get rich from investing in the market, go to ianinvest.com and join the Red Panda Stock Club. We had an amazing call yesterday. Shout out to my Red Panda Sports family, where we turn players into owners one day at a time. If I've made you money, please put yes in chat. See y'all. Let me see. Next week for sure at Carnegie, and maybe this weekend. I'm waiting on a little standby call. So if I end up in New York, I'm gonna let you know. As soon as we're done broadcasting and talking crazy tonight. So shout out to Ross Mack. And the good folks over at Yahoo Finance. So
shout out to Ross Mack.
Yeah, shout out to Ross.
Shout out to Ross. Okay, let's get into this.
And if he don't let you into the party and you didn't get like the black box that light up and a hologram come out with the invite, no, you can't come with me. Sorry. Sorry. And yo, Ian, I was in Red Panda in 2012. I ain't even started then. Stop.
So bad. Okay, let's start. There's a lot going on. We will be talking about some conspiracy theory stuff, but let's start off a little lighthearted. Let's start with the NBA All-Star situation.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk about this. I don't know if you saw what Oscar Robertson said about to Draymond. Well, Draymond pretty much said the game is boring. Oscar Robertson said it's boring because you only pass the ball to Steph Curry. Like, who cares what Draymond Green thinks? So a little heated exchange.
That's interesting.
The Big O and Draymond. But for a long time, people have been criticizing. Kevin Durant was so far to say, like, if y'all going to keep criticizing this, let's just cancel All-Star because all y'all do is complain about how bad it is.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, but also I think it's a great listen to the criticism. But
it is. But all right, so I have some suggestions, and then you have some suggestions, I'm sure. My suggestions is for mainly the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. First of all, shout out to Mac McComb. He's actually a legend. He's actually a legend.
For sure.
You know
High
what?
School dog. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I realized is that because I was at the slam dunk competition and they played Vince Carter 25 years ago. Vince Carter had the legendary performance in the Bay. That's the last time it was in the Bay. And they played his dunks. And you know, Vince Carter to me, legendary.
One of one.
He has the best in-game dunk ever when he jumped over the dude.
Yeah.
Legendary. But what I was noticing when I watched the dunks, and this is no disrespect to Vince Carter,
Rashad,
those dunks are basic dunks now. Like, because the crazy thing about it is like, no, everything has been done, right? So it's like I'm watching Vince Carter's dunks, and I'm like,
high schoolers are doing some of them dunks
he put his arm in the rim, like he did the in between the like. I'm like,
but he set the bar for that time when it wasn't that much athleticism in the game. But since then, those dunks are him and then that Jordan from the free throw.
It's just like Jordan, from the 3-point from the free throw line. If you do that now, like it's just so it's like, you know what? We live in an era of nostalgia. Yeah. But a lot of these dunks are basic dunks. So you gotta damn near do something crazy. Like when Mac jumped over the car and dunked it backwards, like he's doing
two-hand backwards. Woo.
This dude is legendary. So
that's tough, yo.
First thing I want to do is the people will say that they want to see Ja Morant, and I don't necessarily know if I want to see Ja Morant because I feel like I would like to see him, but I don't think Ja Morant could do something crazy. You know what they should do? This is what they should do. There's these dudes on YouTube and social media.
My idea. Oh my! Great minds think alike. Yes,
crazy shit. Like I've seen them do crazy 720.
720 between the leg.
I've seen these dudes, even some dudes in high school. They should have NBA versus the streets,
the field. Yep,
and have like a contest to lead up. Like submit your best dunk online, and then we vote, and then we get 3 of these online dunkers, right? These YouTubers, and then we get 3 dudes in the NBA, and then we have 3 because these dudes do dunks that you like are humanly impossible. Like dudes in the NBA is not doing that. The dudes in the NBA they're not doing that. And that's why I understand why Bron didn't do it, because it's like, yo, every dunk has been done before. You got to literally do a cartwheel, backflip, throw the ball off the backboard, catch it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, and that's not easy. You almost got to only specialize in dunking. Like you got to like these dudes practice that. Like you got to almost only practice dunking Like you
Just
can't
a
be a regular
professional
player.
dunker.
Yeah, the regular player is not practicing all of this trick shit every day.
Yeah.
But that's just and I also think that they should do that with the 3-point contest. Lethal shooter. I want to see him. I want to see lethal shooter against Steph Curry.
And with the targets moving.
Exactly.
With the targets moving.
Exactly. Some wild shit.
Let's spice this shit up. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
We already got Craig Hodges and Mark Price and Steve Kerr. Cool. I want a rim to have a flame on it going like this.
That's a fact.
Let me see. Who's the most accurate?
That's a fact. Because Lethal, shout out to Lethal Shooter. Some of the shit that he does,
insane.
Yo, he be
throwing the gummy worm in a water bottle from half court, one-legged. I've never, and people like, well, it's edited. I don't care if he tried 1,000 times, which he didn't. In a Dasani bottle, bruh, different.
I want to see Lethal Shooter versus Steph Curry, but those are just my 2 suggestions. What's your thoughts?
I've been thinking this for the last 5 years. I want to see 1v1 up to 7.
A lot of people have been saying that.
And a player loses their check for the month to the other player. I got my money on Kyrie.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Because the truth is,
they're not going to do that. That's too much. You got to give them an incentive. You got to give them like Paul Pierce said $10 million to the winner
for the dunk contest.
1v1.
Oh, that's crazy. We'll get some amazing battles. Remember when Shaq and Hakeem back in the day was supposed to do that one-on-one on pay-per-view? Okay, 10 million. Cool. That'll be even 5 million. But I think there needs to be like an 8-player or 10-player 1v1 tournament. But because there isn't much, I'm not going to say pride left, but there are not many people who are getting out there and just competing. Like when it was Jordan, all the guys back in the day, of course, it was less money, but it was like, I want to kill you on the court. It isn't as much as that. Even Shaq back in the day, Shaq was trying to go out and dominate. Like, no question. Especially early Shaq, David Robinson. So I think they need to do that. I think the lethal shooter idea is great. Love the YouTuber dunker idea. That needs to be done. And I think also like letting some fans play against players so they can see, because a lot of fans criticize too much. I want to let you know the 12th man on a D2 school will put 57 points on you. Go ahead and get Robert from Oklahoma to play against Ja Morant and let him get dunked on one time. Okay, let's spice it up. But I think the All-Star game, it just needs to go back to East-West format.
So you don't like the 4 teams to 35 game?
It's not, no. And I think you need to be a high. Now, this is the tricky part. With the higher the incentives, you're going to have companies that are not great for the culture or community sponsoring it. So either gambling is going to come into play or alcohol is going to come into play for that kind of pot. I would just love to see the competitiveness come back, and then I think that would make the ratings go up.
The 1v1 is definitely a good idea. Kyrie already said that he would play. I think you have 3 brackets. You have the guards, forwards.
Yeah.
I don't know if people want to see big men play 1-on-1, but guards and forwards for sure. And maybe
but if Ja boom on Wemby and a one viral.
But imagine Ja Morant versus
Kyrie.
Ja Morant versus Kyrie Irving.
Insane. To 8. Insane.
Like the 1-on-1 tournament would go crazy. That would go crazy because then it's just pride and ego. Nobody wants to get embarrassed.
No, and for real.
That literally is pride, ego. That's mano y mano. And as far as the sports betting, you're right. Prize Picks, somebody like that, like they will make a killing because these are real bets that you can make, right?
Yeah,
that's like
in real time.
Yeah, that's like betting on a fight. Like, okay,
it's like futures trading in real time. Yeah. So, and Juju got out there and bust some of y'all ass too.
Oh, she's crazy. She's a beast.
Yeah, Caitlyn versus Juju. Ooh, baby.
Facts.
So, they need to do a lot more. I know they've been trying, but it doesn't feel like Oscar Robertson funny though. Petty. Indiana legend.
Big
But
O. The big
yeah,
O.
yeah.
All right.
But what do you guys think? Well, what would you add to the All-Star game? Adam Silver. Set up the meeting.
Put in
Come
chat. On. Okay. Some financial topics. Meme coins. There's been a lot of rappers recently that have put out meme coins, and not just rappers, celebrities, even the president. Yes. But it's becoming really, really, really prevalent in hip hop culture. And shout out to Moneybagg Yo. No disrespect, but that video was hilarious. Where he didn't say Solana. He was like, I'm putting out my new token on Selena. Selena.
That is hilarious, yo. Selena. Shout out to Moneybagg.
So you see Moneybagg Yo, you see Rick Ross. Rick Ross is interesting because he's somebody that actually criticized crypto a few years ago. And he has the Boss token.
Yeah, Boss coin. Yeah. And then my good friend, my white brother, Adam 22.
Oh, he got a coin?
Cut coin. And
so Kanye actually just did something interesting when he put out that text message that somebody has sent him, I guess, allegedly, saying like, yo, we'll pay you, I think it was $2 million to do this, put it on Twitter, and then a day later you can come back and say you got hacked. Now there's some people that actually did that. I won't say the names, but you can Google it. You can Google for yourself. But there have been people that have actually done that, which is interesting. Okay. What do we feel about this?
Every time I get on stage, go get the book, You Deserve to Be Rich, I say you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be rich, you deserve to be wealthy, you deserve to be free. If you invest in these meme coins, especially Adam 22s, you deserve to be fucked. Your choice. Like when people who have no clue about investing are launching coins, if you think that you're going to get rich off of Adam's coin or Dave Portnoy's Barstool coin, you're just asking for danger. Like Trump coin, tricky too, but I can see that him lining that up to eventually make an ETF. This is just plain out gambling. Like if you know that you're being finessed and they're walking you in and telling you this is a finesse and you still put money into it, you're choosing to be fucked over. So,
but no is it okay? That's one aspect of it. From the aspect of the person that's issuing the coin, are they to be held accountable for scam? Are they running scams, or are they just putting something out there and it's like a collector's item or NFT, or where it's like, hey, if you just support me, or are they to be held accountable for running a scam?
I think that the meme coin mania has gotten so crazy. The thought has to be, if they've seen NFTs go crazy and all these millions are made, I know the thought is I can take my influence, put it over here, rug pull, say I didn't know. Somebody else, the same thing Hawk Tua did. She's cried wolf and played innocent, but it's like you kind of knew what was going to happen because there's a reason you got off the internet for 2 months. So should they be held accountable? Yes. But will they be? I don't think so, because I don't think anybody's taking any of these people serious. But I wonder, like, who is at the core of paying influencers to do this? It seems like it went from NFT to now meme coins. But just be very careful. But there's a lot of people in entertainment that things are not working out well, and they're seeing this movement get big, and they're being placed here to kind of slow down the traction or monetize off of it. So be careful out there. But I don't want to tell nobody black down during Black History Month, but just be careful.
And just for you guys to understand, if you don't know what a rug pull is, that's when they pull the rug, right? So it's like, okay, we start a coin and we have 20% of the circulation, and we pump this coin up, and our value goes to millions of dollars. Let's say the market cap goes to $20 million, and we own 20% of the coin, right?
Yep.
And then we sell what we have, right? And we make millions of dollars on this sell. Shortly after we sell, the value of the coin drops drastically.
Yeah.
And whoever's left holding it loses all their money. Yeah. So first in, first out. That's how you make money on these situations. The first in and the first himself. So it's like, okay, you're the first people that actually own the coin, and you're relatively the first people to sell the coin once it actually gets to a certain point. You don't hold it too long. You get in, you get out. And it's a quick way to make. I mean, Donald Trump made how much? Hundreds of millions.
But a bunch.
So money. It's a quick way. If you're an influencer, you could at least make a couple of million quickly. But I don't even think they actually not even getting in on the equity side of it though. Because if that tweet from if that text from Kanye was valid, he was going to get offered to pay. Now that's what even happened with Kim Kardashian and Calvin and all of them. So I don't even think that these celebrities are actually participating on the equity side of it. Meaning, I don't think they probably don't even own any token. They probably don't even understand how to actually work.
And that's a good way to avoid deeper litigation. Just to say I was paid as an ambassador, I wasn't aware. Cool. Remember when I text you, yo, it's over because they had the little thing they wanted to do. I'm like, no, now, and I'm gonna say this: give us a lot of credit for never doing an NFT and never do any of these coins when we could have made tens of millions of dollars off of it. I know I'm tired of Tech2 Index. I'm tired of Apple and Microsoft. But you don't think I could have made a red Panda NFT or fucking Panda coin or some shit? Like, be careful. Be careful.
The real money is in the equity side of it. So it's like, all right, for instance, if we pick X, Y, and Z celebrity, right, and we say, okay, we'll give you $1 million to promote this coin. But we have 25% of the circulation, right? So we pay them $1 million. They promote the coin. Within 48 hours, said coin goes to $20 million market cap, right?
Yep.
So now we own 25% of the circulation. So that's $5 million, right? So now if we sell our $5 million stake, right, and dump it on the marketplace, then we've made $5 million. Deduct it from the $1 million that we paid the influencer. Yep. And we walk away with $4 million.
Not a bad day for selling invisible something.
Yeah,
binary basically. 1 and 0. What? Like, you know how much character it take to see that kind of money be ran up and then not go do it.
Yeah. See, if they were smart, they would actually try to tie it into an NFT situation where it's like, okay, if you buy some value given. If you buy this coin, you have access to merch, shows. I'll do a feature with you if you have if you got over $10,000 worth of this coin, I'll do a feature with you. So that way, it's actually a value add tied to the ownership of the coin, and it makes you hold the coin longer. That's one of the good things with the NFT. Some people did that way. But I think what these guys are doing is just putting it out there just for no value at all. So, all right. Before we end this topic, a word to the wise is sufficient. If you invest in any of these coins, there's a 100% chance that you're going to lose money if you hold it long term. So, you can try to get in and get out. It's very risky. There's also liquidation issues. There might not be enough liquidity to cash you out because they run on very thin type of platform. So, be aware of that. It's not an investment at all. It's
definitely a short term play. A week maximum.
So highly unadvisable, but you do what you want. But what they are doing is they just watering down the crypto market, and they're actually making it's becoming a mockery, and that's bad. That's bad for the space.
For sure. Did you see that message about the guy who spent 1.3 in Ethereum to send out that message that quote, I won't say what company, but brain machine weapons are being used to persecute all company employees and former employees, and they are also being controlled.
Yes.
This is one of the, now that's crazy, but I think it's one of the better uses of using crypto to get a message out. People was like, why didn't he just go on Twitter or YouTube and upload a video? I don't know if y'all know how China works, but they set Jack Ma down for a little bit over his thoughts, which were not wow to the Chinese government.
You know, I had to put this in Chat GBT just to kind of, I wanted to get a easy, understandable explanation. So they said, okay, so someone permanently destroyed 500 ETH, which is $1.38 million, right? In a blockchain transaction to include the message written in Chinese. The message accused Feng X.
Yes.
I'm not sure how you put, and Ich Zui. I don't know how to say their names, but there's two guys who this mess. So they're saying that, as you said, they're the bosses of Condo Investments.
Yes, allegedly.
And yeah, they are accusing these guys of using brain machine weapons to persecute. This is what ChatGPT says. Brain machine weapons to persecute their employees and former employees, and even claims that they themselves are being controlled. The message goes further to suggest that brain computer chips have been militarized and deployed on a large scale, implying that all major military powers are using base stations, radio waves, and nano brain computer chips to control their citizens.
Yep.
So this is interesting. That's the part that's really interesting, right? Because somebody spent damn near $1.4 million. It's decoded. We don't know who put this out. That's why I was on the blockchain, right? And they put this message out in China to say that these guys are using brain chips to control their employees, but they even went a step further to say all major militaries are already using brain to control population. That's pretty scary. Radio waves, base stations, radio waves, and nano brain computer chips to control their citizens. Like they're saying, they're making that claim that that's happening right now.
Currently. And there's soft control and harder controls, but let's take it off of China and go global landscape. I'm old enough to seen every conspiracy theory that we were told as kids turn out to be true. And when you have a dictatorial government, because you can make the argument, even there are no citizen rights in other countries. They are the capital. The human capital is the asset to be controlled. But even if we look here in our soft controls, use of this and certain social media platforms and certain technologies is a soft form of control. So while we may not have the brain chip, I know a lot of people who spend 7-8 hours a day on social media and spend more time with social media than they do their family. So this isn't that far of a stretch if you know how China has run their regime. And if I have a plan to destroy the West and Western cultural norms by helping and forming BRICS, wouldn't it behoove me to front run Neuralink so I can have super warriors to be able to take over Africa, Mexico, and then the United States? We won't even have to have no conspiracy talk no more. The real life, the stuff that's happening in real life that many people are not talking about, oh my God, it's much better than any conspiracy show you can ever talk about. So, interesting, but all populations are controlled. I just think they've taken a stronger stance on how to do so.
But this is because it's like, all right, we know the nano, we know what nano brain chips are, right? So it's like, okay, you don't remember getting a brain chip put in your brain, then you might not have that. But this is for all my tin hat conspiracy theorists out there. The base stations and the radio waves are interesting because it's like, okay, what is a base station? Base stations are fixed communication hubs that transmit and receive signals, wireless communication networks. They serve as the backbone of cellular, radio, and satellite communications, allowing devices like smartphones, radios to connect to networks, cellular base stations found in cell towers, providing 4G, 5G, and early network service. So this goes back to all of my conspiracy theorists on the 5G.
The 5G
play. Maybe
it did not cause COVID, but hey, it's another mechanism.
Maybe you were on to something all along.
For
Maybe,
sure.
Perhaps.
And if I'm in China and I got y'all to believe that a person had bat soup in a wet market and flew to New York and then gave it to the world, I can get anything off. That doesn't even make sense. Like, shout out to all my virologists who watch the show and everybody in the medical field. Like, you hear the theory that even Lyme's disease was a bio weapon that got out of control in the United States, and an enemy combatant end up getting that and spreading it in the United States.
That's what whatchamacallit said, right? Kennedy. They asked him about it. They asked him about it in front of his
Market Monday's alumni.
That's a fact. You know, it's just interesting because it's like, you know, for somebody to spend $1.4 million to get this message out, they have to be wealthy.
For sure.
Because, you know, that's you. In order to spend
a lot of money to burn.
In order to you essentially put a billboard up, right? So, in order to pay $1.4 million for a billboard digitally, you have to have money, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? There's no return on that investment. You're not going to get anything back from it. That's just money. That's money that literally burning. You just burnt ether. Like, that's literally money to burn. So it makes you think, because it's not a regular person. It's not just some regular, you know, conspiracy theorist that's crazy on the street. Yeah. This is somebody that actually has money, right? So if somebody really has money
and well-to-do, certain level of education,
money provides what? Access to information.
Yeah. And this message could cost them their life. Because if you start to look who could have had that information, that web is not that big of people who it's either a friend of the family or a former employee, disgruntled employee. Like, yeah. Most people in the world never even heard of this company.
No.
Yeah. So if you want to build a super soldier, keep going back. The real tech war is going to be who can provide arms. That's why I keep bringing up Underwhelmed on Market Mondays. And the Neuralink and the Tesla robots. If Elon can find a way to get 50,000 robots to fight on our behalf, quadrillionaire.
Or this could have been just a play to try to ruin the reputation of these two people in the firm. Maybe it was a competitor.
Great insight. Great. Business, you never know.
Business is war.
For sure. The deadliest game on earth. That's business 101. For sure.
Because who would want to do business or work with a company that is accused of using brain chips to control their employees? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy times that we're living in, ladies and gentlemen.
For sure.
Do you see Elon Musk when he said that hundreds of millions of dollars are getting paid to Social Security to people that's 150 years old?
I did see the tweet. Shout out to Doge. I think anybody above a certain age know that Social Security is not going to be paid out. This is above my pay grade, and I like being alive. So I'm a Euro this one. But Elon's a talented little racist boy. But some of this and a couple other issues that he's talking about in Doge, like where's the gold in Fort Knox, which we've talked about before on Market Mondays. I'm interested to see what the findings are, because all of a sudden a bunch of gold is being flown from the UK over to the States after some of these issues have come up, allegedly.
Another thing with Elon, though, you don't know if he's saying is true or not, because it's like the Gaza thing, right? Like he said, he made a big deal. The president, Donald Trump, actually said, we taxpayers are sending $50 million in condoms to Gaza. They got to stop. And when people heard it, it was like, that don't even really sound right. He got that information from Elon Musk. It turns out they were talking about Gaza and Mozambique because it's a high AIDS population and they're trying to stop the AIDS spread in Mozambique. So when they confronted Elon about it, he was like, that makes more sense. And he was like, hold me accountable. I'm not going to say everything is not going to be right, but that's dangerous that you could just say something. That's really, really dangerous, right? Because it's like goes back to what we said on Monday about the guy that's talking about us with Ghana. If somebody like Elon Musk says something, it's going to reach hundreds of millions of people, right? And we don't know if this is true, if it's a lie, if it's like we
going back to business being war, and I said this on Market Mondays, right? I think one of the biggest mistakes you can make in being a business owner is to tell all of your plans. Some of these messages he is putting out as decoys intentionally. A person that's same with Kanye. Kanye isn't solely mental ill when it's rollout time and saying when no product is out. So I think Elon, even in doing this, very intentional in why he may do fake news with Trump. You see his kid curse at Trump in office.
Yeah, even the kid just being there on his shoulders and all that, and even him wearing a t-shirt, he broke dress code protocol.
If I'm Hefe, do I got to dress up in your little office that's really mine? Let my kid curse at you. Shut up. And you better not say nothing.
Who has more power, Elon Musk or Donald Trump?
No question, Elon Musk. It's
no question. Donald Trump got a lot of power. He made all of the tech bros bow down. When I say tech bros,
except
Mark Zuckerberg,
for sure. Yeah, live feed for sure. But without Elon's the one who turned the polling power. If you go back and look, guys, look in ChatGPT. When Elon started to endorse and put that money into Trump, that's when things turned for him. Going back to who do we have on? I think Byron. Elon is going to be a better version of Donald Rumsfeld and Trump will be Bush. Both are more elite, but it's no question. He has Starlink, Neuralink, X, Tesla, and he's puppeteering everything. And dog, he looked like a slob in that office with Trump. On the video, dancing, kid acting crazy. That's when you know who really has power. When you get to break all the rules that have historically been there in Washington, and there's nothing no one else can do about it. So that's the Trump is Tupac, Elon smart chill, top dog for sure. And if they can work things out over the next 4 years, be interesting. But it's a lot of fighting going on in MAGA and inside those circles right now. So we'll see what will happen. But for these first 18 months, he did what he was supposed to do, for sure.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened for the Valentine's Day situation?
What you mean what happened?
Well,
I went out on Valentine's Day, shots my baby.
So, yeah, a lot of people thought that, well, I'll say this. I said that Valentine's Day was a scam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Can we address that?
That's what I'm saying. I also never said that I also never told people not to celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I just said that I think it's a way to extract money out of people. This year, record-breaking numbers this year. I think it was 28 billion, something like that.
On Valentine's Day?
Yeah, we posted it. It was Valentine's Day spending in 2025 broke the all-time record. Let me see.
Next Thursday, can you please ask the CEO of LVMH how many sales he thought things came in because of Valentine's Day?
$27.5 billion.
Yeah. And I also said on the show that I was celebrating it, so I don't know what the shock was. Do y'all listen to the show or do you skim through it? Okay. Shout out to Kim and the Skims partnership with Nike.
So would you like to address that?
I popped out and put it on the page. Look dope as hell. Fuck. I'm gonna say this. If I never met you in real, because I got a couple people. I finally went to my messages yesterday. Oh my god, I'm so upset at you. I never met you in real life. Never. Some of y'all are too delusional and too diabolical.
Why were they upset at you?
I have no clue. Delusional. I mean, maybe they had some romantic interest in me, and I had no clue of that. But if I don't know you in real life, how can you be mad at me? The fuck? Number 2. Pictures is fire, right? Whoo, look like I'm in Bond, the new Bond movie, right? But if I said I was celebrating it, I don't see what the issue was. So, and if you got criticism, I'm gonna tell you this. How you said, "Come on, DC." I don't care. So if I gave a fuck, I wouldn't have posted nothing. There's a reason I even waited to prime time to post it. Shout out to you for playing and had an amazing time with you. Appreciate you. Damn. So what we gonna do? And she not new. The fuck? Come on, man. So I get y'all criticism, but I think there is too much criticism for a person who has helped this much and too much. The other side of that, all black, even here, don't make the villain in me pop out. Because I like being nice. I'll fuck up the whole ecosystem and go away. And I just carve Jerome Rashad privately and go to my motherfucking Bilderberg meetings and call it a day. What? So, yeah.
Okay.
And to some of you dudes who be criticizing, you know who did, you know what, well, you know who. Because I get to posting them other, right? I like being good in calm space. You know my bag of work.
So looking back on it in hindsight, do you think that it was a good idea to post, or do you think it was better if you just didn't post anything?
No, I'm not going to hide my care for somebody because of what the internet say. No. I'm going to pick moments and be private because up until that moment, it had been private. Cool.
Right.
But on that day. So I learned, even from you, hey, be selective in how much you do because you can over-index on it. It can bring...
And it's a lot of negative energy. Like, it's one of these things, right, where people will bring negative energy to your relationship,
your situation.
And even if you're the most positive person in the world, it does have some level of effect on you, right? And it's just like some people are like, I don't want to deal with that. Like I don't even want to have to read a negative comment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to trigger me, even if it's for 1 minute. That 1 minute is valuable.
Not worth it.
It's not worth being triggered.
Yeah.
But
but spacing is important. I don't think you can let the internet or the reactions control your life, but also not to give them enough to, like you said, disrupt. But no, I'm not gonna hide. You know what I mean? So, but I read everything. Cool. I see you. And if we used to date, don't message me about you, man. I don't give a fuck about you being mad. I'm still me. I ain't finna get in my Steffes Cole, King Dre, Trip Fontaine bag, but I'm me. So, Satoshi. Motherfucker. So, you like the pictures on fire? If I was less egotistical and less lover boy, I would have a whole bunch of shit to say. But I'm in a good space. I can't complain. Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is good. But I learned from you, my brother. That's why leading up into that, super quiet, super private.
I think privacy. There's power in privacy.
For sure.
But it's crazy that you got negative DMs though. Comments on a post is one thing.
Oh, a bullshit.
A DM is crazy because a DM is you taking it a step further.
Voice notes. I'm like, I don't even know you in real. Who are you?
16 voice notes from one person.
Yeah, psycho ass. my closet look like John Wick in real life. Don't play. Good player. Yo, chill. All that psycho shit. Like, I'm not. Listen, and I love me, but I'm not all that to be going that crazy over. Chill out. Chill out. Let me see if I got any more thoughts on that. Yeah, let's go.
That's it. That's it.
For now.
Okay.
For now. But once again, thank you to her for planning the trip. I appreciate it. Great time. I almost got a concussion, snowboarding. Oh my God. Light concussion. Boy, I thought I was about to act like
she planned the trip.
Yeah.
That was thoughtful.
Effort. A for effort.
That's thoughtful.
Yeah. Because some of you motherfuckers will see, and then you want everything to be done for you without doing anything. That blueprint, that's a negative return on investment. Emotional and romantic Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
It's another conversation we gotta have for another day. A lot of y'all don't be pouring shit in and just want all that come with this. Like, no.
So she took the initiative on Valentine. That's rare. She took the initiative to plan the trip for Valentine.
A month and a half in advance. And then some of I know, can't believe you. Why? I thought you guys were done. Even better. The reverse rollout. Oh, fake that we not together. Oh, great. Perfect. I learned. I listen. So I'll be taking little notes. Privacy, networking, be listening. Too many people react to the show opposed to listening. Cool. My boy said privacy. Cool. Shit been smooth. So, yeah. Yep.
Salute.
Babe boy, I hear the other criticism you be giving. I'm in a good space. But some of y'all know all that he don't date such and such. Y'all, I had a bunch of yours. Right there in Atlanta. Let me stay sweet, loving, and y'all last year when Blackout came out, yo, wish you would grow up and quit being so diabolical, and that's not good for black men to be. Okay, cool. Now I'm chill. Now y'all want to talk shit. You know who? Did you know what? Well, you know who? Keep that between me and you, though. Okay.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Lord. Meditation. Yes. And cheers to everybody who shared their love with the world and those who didn't. But to walk your path. Stop criticizing me. And I know some of y'all didn't like my Kendrick take last week. That's cool. Maybe we'll talk about the Drake album at some point. But I'm gonna need y'all to stop with this once again with this OVO and shit. Because y'all gonna upset me. And that's cool. It's all fun and jokes until I start making some calls and start fucking up y'all business lives. The psycho part of Kendrick, I do like a whole lot, and I'm with that. So, I know some of y'all bosses in real life. Furlough.
Speaking of that, speaking of the Drake album.
Hey Drake,
have you listened to the album? What's your thoughts? I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to it, so I can't critique it.
Shout out to Gordo, great production. Shout out to P&D. I will say, because I was gonna come on here and be on fire, but power of relationships, right? Is it worth mitigation of risk? Is it worth being hypercritical of this project and then lose the relationship that I built over the last 2 or 3 years? I will say, given the onslaught that Kendrick has been on towards him, I don't know if this is the first body of work he could have put out. Now, I'll give him some grace, maybe because he couldn't put it out directly himself because of contractual shit with UMG. I may not want to put my best slaps on a P&D project, but I would say underwhelmed at the album. Deeper Fire, the Nokia song, it's cool. It's a couple cool joints on there. The Raining in Houston vibe. It's a good vibe album, but given the attack, and I think it's a bigger business lesson too. Even going, let's say off the Valentine's Day thing, or every year before InvestFest is always somebody who come up popping shit. You got to use that energy and turn that energy into something positive. Because last year when I got it, I already have the presentation done. I'm like, that's when I added the marching band point. Cool. You want to put on a spectacle and hate? Let me give the audience, when they see me for the first time and saw that hate, what I did on stage outperformed whatever the fuck you said online. Cool. He didn't do that with this album. So I was expecting a lot more. And going back to the power of relationships, my first thought was, because I heard him and Tori patch things up, he really needed Tori. They needed a Chicks Tape 7 collaborate. Can't do nothing with The Weeknd. Him and Future are cool again. So, but you can't do nothing with Future right now. So, do I love the album? No. But maybe he's trying to find his way how to navigate through the circumstances. But everybody like, oh, you biased. I'm like, no, I'm not biased. I've met him 4 or 5 times. Been cool to me, cool, no biggie. But I'm not that biased. So I'm just like, yo, everything's fucking amazing. So, yeah, not his best body of work. I'll say that for sure. And all them jokes are fun online until the jokes swing back. I got a lot of favors I can call in from a lot of people. And when you've made people as much money as I have for free, oh, it's easy to put some of y'all on furlough. Ian is sensitive and all this other shit. The diabolical part of Kendrick, that's my motherfucking bag. To destroy somebody and let him watch and kill him while he's still living. Ooh, that part I love. Kendrick's so diabolical, he got an A chain and A minor with 2 kids holding up the PG. So,
okay,
be careful who you criticize.
Be careful who you criticize. Okay,
yeah.
Staying positive.
Yeah, stay positive.
Staying positive. Oh, we have a guest that surprise. Peekaboo.
Hey, Peekaboo.
Hey, I don't want no problems. Hey, let me get my camera together. I don't want no problems. Okay, my name is Kendra. I'm not Kendrick. I ain't in it. I heard the way you was going off, child.
No, you know I got incredible love for you. How are you?
What's the deal?
What's going on, Richmond?
Can't call it. Can't call it.
Can't
call it.
Day, another dollar. Yes.
For sure. You in California?
I'm home. Yes, I'm back in Cali. I was trying to link with y'all when I was in New York, but I guess y'all be all around the world. So our schedules kind of align. So we are FaceTime video time. Face video time.
Here we are. Kendra G, friend of the program. Dating show went crazy, but she's done a bunch of other stuff, has an app. We're gonna talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
But first, we got to get to this situation. You have a dating show, right?
Yes.
And I watch the highlights a lot of times.
Phenomenon.
Okay.
Thank you.
We gotta talk about unrealistic expectations.
Okay, before we get to it, Rashad, because Rashad is he can speak from he was on the show. That's what I'm trying to get to. Rashad was on the show, and Rashad had no idea what he was getting into. So this is like, I want to say 2 years ago. And, he thought he would just come on my show and tell the audience what you told me back then. You're so much big time now, so I probably don't reign in this elite category. But you said coming on my show was the second most recognized platform that you were on, that people will walk up to you and say, I saw you on the Kendra G dating show, and you wasn't ready.
No, that's a fact. Your reach is crazy. Your reach is definitely crazy. I came on the show. I really came on to talk about InvestFest.
Yes. That's how I get all you guys.
Yeah, but it was a dating show, so I played along with it, and man, it was crazy for like weeks afterwards. Like, it was crazy from a DM standpoint, but it was also crazy from like you said, I'll be in the street, people like, yo, you was on Kendra G. Like, people was texting me like, yo, I see you on Kendra G show. I'm like, yo, I knew you had a following, but I was not aware of how large your reach was. So kudos to you for building such a strong community, for sure.
Thank you so much. I want to just talk to that. Like, this show began during COVID, right? So it was the time when we were all locked in. This is pre-mask. So this is like the first part of COVID when you couldn't even go to your mother's house. You couldn't go to your grandmother's house because we didn't know how the disease was spreading. So this is April 2020, and shout out to D Nice. He kept us connected via music on IG Live. I was in a relationship. We broke up during COVID, and I had a dog. I was like, it was like Will Smith and I Am Legend. I was like, okay, this can't be life. So I went on IG Live to connect with other single people and have them meet somebody during this time period. And I knew the first night, if I took this show serious, it would change my life because I come from media. A lot of people know me from the show, but really I'm a 20 plus radio television veteran. So I know media. So when I saw that, what I loved about my show, it's regular people. It's not celebrity driven. That's what I come from. And, you know, celebrities can be so hard at times to get them to do interviews. So I love that it was regular people. I love that the people wanted to be a part of it. And I love that everyone has a shot. You have a shot to be on the show. You have a shot to watch Rashad. Like when they saw you, Rashad, there was 10,000 women around the world that's like, I have a shot to be his wife. I have a shot to be his wife. What? And let me tell you, you were personally requested. I got texts about you too. So I think that what it did is it also informed us on the new way of dating. This is not our grandma and grandpa's days of dating. You know, they just had to pick somebody in high school, if they went down south to visit somebody, or potentially college. Now we're in the social media world. All three of us are literally in 3 different locations having this conversation. So you see how social media has changed everything. So it's just a new way of dating.
I'm glad you got that point across. For people that did not know that I was on the show, they're gonna go back and they're gonna.
I'm gonna have to repost this video.
Oh, you gonna repost it?
I'm gonna repost this video in honor of this interview.
The replay. All right, so we got that out the way. That I was actually a featured guest.
Yeah.
Now this question on unrealistic expectations.
Okay, let's get that down. So
let's talk about that.
So a lot of the women, I'm gonna start off with the women, but I'm gonna go to the men too, because a lot of the conversation is focused on women with unrealistic expectations. So I gotta tell you this, my show changed me. I'm not the same person that I was 5 years ago. I've talked to at least 15,000 single people now. So now I learned a thing or two. Most women want a man of you guys' caliber. You know, you guys, I'm gonna give you your kudos. You're successful men, you're attractive men, well-spoken men, black men, you know, do well, you do for the community. They all want you. Now, it doesn't matter if she's rich or poor, fine or not that attractive, they all want you. Now, we know the truth of the matter is you guys represent, really when it comes down to it, not the larger portion of the masses. You guys literally might be 10%, might even be less than that. You might be like the 5%ers, the 1%ers, but it doesn't matter because 100% of the women all want you. So what happens is, what I've learned is social media has given people insights to other people's lives. So every girl wants a man that makes bare minimum 100K, has to be attractive, faithful, prefers no kids. If she has kids, love her kids like they are your kids. Treat her kids like you created her kids. Show up for her when she needs you to show up for her. Go to church with her every day. Don't ever speak to another woman. Always be available, but work so much that you can fulfill my lifestyle. It's crazy. I'm saving my next invention is the AI guy. I'm gonna make the 6'6" AI human-like man because it's literally the only man that represents this. And I think that what I've come to learn is women get really offended because they use settling. I hate the word settling because if you say, oh, you're saying I'm not good enough for a man that makes 100K, it's like, and their argument will be, well, I make that or more. So it only makes sense for me to require a man that makes what I want or more. Logically speaking, I get that. I don't have a disagreement there. But the part that they're missing, which matters the most, is that man doesn't date the same. A lot of times the wealthy man or the man that has the money, he doesn't want a broke girl, but he has enough. He goes into it knowing he's paying for everything, right? So even though you have a certain lifestyle, this man in his mind, I still got to pay for everything. So your money doesn't matter that much as you think it does. Sometimes a man, and y'all can speak to this because you guys are men. I don't want to talk for men. And these are, you represent these men and you have these friends. Before I even answer, you guys tell me the answer. Do men that make a lot of money, do they care about the woman's money?
No.
It's a yes and no question. No, nobody is looking at okay, but it is beneficial if somebody got something going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of goes to the you don't want a broke girl, but now you said no. Why'd you say no, Ian?
Because if I know with my acumen and investing in business, if I care about her enough, I can get her whatever bag she needs off my acumen.
Okay. So that means you could, so for you, so what's most important to you? I'm not even sure. Are you in a relationship? If so, I'll back off. Okay, you are.
But you can actually talk to
Okay. So you have.
Let me ask Ian a question because last week you said if something is draining you financially, you should
gotta
break
let
up.
it go. You gotta let it go.
But you just said you could finance somebody's life.
I didn't say finance. I said with my acumen, I can give them the tools to be able to go get their own bag.
Oh, so you teach them how to trade.
Yeah, and for sure. Like
I got
it.
Thank you for clarifying.
This is great journalistic integrity, but for real, like even in this situation now, knows how to trade futures, knows how to invest, does real estate. Cool. So it's a lighter load, and there are certain conversations I can have, which I think is really dope about these conversations, and then go over to talk about the Hang Sci or the German DAX. Like, I think that's a dope vibe. Have I taken a stray cat off the street and tried to clean her up before? Sure. Not my bag anymore, though. So.
Oh, so you won't do that anymore. So she got to have something. Okay.
She has to have a passion, for sure.
So I know I'm here to be interviewed, and look, I always be turning into the interviewer, and I'm going to answer the questions, but I don't want to miss this moment because you guys are like I said, you are the men that most women describe. So it'd be best just to hear from y'all. So Ian, what matters most to you when it comes to seeking a woman partnership?
Peace and love.
Okay. Peace. Why would you say peace? You know you will get peace if you don't cause chaos. If you don't cause chaos, a woman won't erupt, like make the house crazy.
That's not true. That's not true. Some people are toxic.
Some people
are toxic, and no matter how good you are, they
love the drama.
The fact that they're still toxic.
Yep.
Okay, so when I think of peace, I think of, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I haven't called, like I called you, you didn't answer the phone all day, and I couldn't be able to get in contact with you all day. At 9 o'clock comes, you're not gonna have peace because I'm like, where the hell was you all day? Is that a justifiable, non-peaceful moment? Or in that case, would you say, no, I still deserve peace?
No, I would say my bad. I was trying to line up something for Invest Fest. I'll do better next time.
Rashad, why you laugh?
That's why you say it like that. Like, no, I still deserve peace.
No,
well, everybody. Let me say this. Let me say this. What you choose to put up with is up to you. That doesn't mean that you should disrupt somebody's peace. I think I should have peace no matter what I do.
No matter what happens.
No matter what happens. If I don't call you for 6 weeks, I think I still deserve peace. You deserve
6 weeks is crazy.
You deserve to be happy. No. But what I'm saying is, hear me out. Now that's up to you to have boundaries as far as what you will accept and what you won't accept.
Yeah.
So if the behavior is unacceptable to you, then you can make a decision to no longer be in the situation. I always look at it like I'm not being with somebody that I got to argue with. Because if I got to argue with you, then there's issues, right? We don't need to argue. If we have to argue, we don't need to be together.
Facts.
Okay.
Because it's really about approach.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Because if you say, hey, I know you're busy. I'm busy too. I care for you. It's 9 o'clock. I would love to hear from you if you have a break. Only take a minute. I can handle that. But the attitude of why the fuck you ain't caught? No. Gotta go.
Okay.
First violation is wrap this shit up.
Okay. Two things can be true though. So Rashad, I agree with that, right? If you have to have boundaries and if the actions are not aligning to what you want to accept, back away. But when it comes to the peace part, what if the conversation is about to not cause peace? Like you gave an example of 6 weeks. I haven't heard from you, Negro, in 6 weeks. Like, what's up with that? Some men will say just you asking that conversation is taken away from peace. Because why would you even bring up you haven't talked to me in 6 weeks? And that's the part I can't get with. Like,
It's not
because
what
you
you
can
say, it's
ask
how
the
you say it.
question that then causes the argument. So she shouldn't even ask the question that is not right. Like, okay, I haven't heard from you.
No. You shouldn't ask. You know why you haven't heard from me? Because we're on a 6-week basis.
What?
If I'm just saying, I'm not talking about me. 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 I'm just saying hypothetical. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying in general. I'm just speaking in general, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so if this is like not your girl.
Well, there's a thing called the relation. There's a marriage. There's an engagement. There's a relationship.
Then you got the work.
There's dating, and then there's a casual vibe. There's a casual vibe. Yeah. Too many casual vibes think they're
want the wifey treatment. Yes,
you're not in a relationship. You're a casual vibe, and you signed up to be the casual vibe. So you got to hold some responsibility here.
Oh my God. Okay,
talk about it.
Okay, first of all, I'm happy we got clarity because I knew that's what you meant when you said peace. Because all men say this, and really, what peace means, don't bring up a conversation that will take away from peace. So as Rashad said, even though I haven't called you in 6 weeks, you should know in your mental why I haven't called you in 6 weeks. So when I talk to you 6 weeks later, you shouldn't ask the question, where have you been in 6 weeks? You should decide whether A, to answer the phone or not answer the phone. Is that what you're saying is the answer, Rashad?
Yes, because you haven't called me in 6 weeks either. And like I said, I'm not talking about me personally. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
It takes two to tango. So if we're on this situation where neither one of us communicate, well, you haven't called me in 6 weeks. You haven't texted me. You're not texting me every morning saying, "Hey, how you doing?" Da da da. So we both have an unwritten. You know what it comes down to a lot of times. Nobody ever talks about this aspect of it. A lot of women have passive aggressive attitudes because they don't communicate, and then they want somebody else to communicate. What you want, you should do. That's what I learned in life. If you want something, you should do it. So if I want you to talk to me every day, I should talk to you every day, right? If I want you to, like, too many women they just don't talk. They don't say anything. They expect the guy to do something. The guy's not doing it, and then they feel away because it's like, damn, like you're not doing this. Well, you're not doing it either.
Yep.
Well, a couple things. I want to go back. I know we're just giving a hypothetical scenario with the 6 weeks thing, but in that case, what if she did text you like, "Hey, how you doing?" and then you don't respond to 6 weeks later? Because let's say she gave the alley-oop, she reached out to you last, and then now you come back around. And 6 weeks is big, but it could be 3 days, 4 days, or whatever. That causes a conversation of, let's talk about this. And I think that men don't like the conversation of when you did something out of pocket, this is going to take away. We're not going to have a peaceful moment because I got to call you out on this. Now, how I approach it could be deciphered. I could agree with that. But you can't just say, don't ask me where I haven't been in 6 weeks. You know what it is, Rashad.
No. You don't. No. Let's put it in perspective. First of all, if you text somebody and they text you back 6 weeks later, there is no relationship.
There's no relationship.
Okay.
You should have enough common sense to
read the room.
This isn't a person that's taking me serious, right?
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is more so on the lines of we don't talk at all, and we might talk once every 6 weeks. So in that situation, you can't hold somebody accountable. You can't hold that person accountable because you've accepted that you yourself have signed up for this casual. It's called casual dating, right? Mm-hmm. You yourself have signed up for it. So I just think that there's too much blame that goes on men in this society.
Here's the deal. Transparency, I respect, right? So if you are a guy who's always honest and saying, this is what it is, I'm not really looking for nothing serious.
No. That's part of the problem too. It's not it's not about transparency.
No. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
It's not always about transparency. It's because most people are not communicating. This is what I learned in life. Most people don't communicate, and then what ends up happening is that there's assumptions that's made based off of actions. So most people are not saying this is what it is. Most people just go into it, vibe, and then it plays out how it plays out. Now
that's a mistake, though.
That's some bullshit. No, I gotta jump in. That's some bullshit, Rashad. Let me tell you why. because you can't blame the woman then, because now she's going off of hope, right? Because if a guy is selling to her, right now I don't want anything serious, but this can grow into something. I really am feeling you. He's planting the seeds that more is to come. So this woman, whether it be right or wrong, she's going off of his words, and that I don't respect. But if a guy is transparent and says, listen, right now, I just can't, I really can't give you all that you want, but listen, I don't mind spending time with you when I can respect that. The no conversation, the no clarity, you cannot get mad at the woman because she doesn't know. And now you're telling her she shouldn't even have the conversation.
But what about the times when it is communicated and then they still feel away?
That's the part I agree with. If it's communicated, that's respect. Like, now you know what it is. He didn't lie to you. She didn't lie to you. Now you can make an honest decision on how you want to proceed. But what Rashad said kind of is what most men do. They kind of keep it cloudy. They don't tell you all the way that I'm not really into you. This is not going nowhere. They kind of keep it like level of, no, this has the opportunity of growth. So women will sit there, because most women are hopeless romantic, and especially if it's a guy they really would desire to be with, right? Like, you are the type of guys that women are going to be hopeful for, but that's not right. You got to be honest with her in order to get the right reaction from her, because she deserves that. And I think then you can't get mad. But if you keep it cloudy, you can't get mad at her because you're not making it clear to her.
Well, they get mad when you're honest. Yo, why not me? Or why her over me? Or what? It's like, yo. And a lot of guys don't want to keep, especially you doing this during business hours. So what? Wrap it up.
What you mean? I will say this. I think where women have screwed up the game is women got to treat every guy like he's ugly. Don't give the rich man. Let me tell you why. Because if the guy is ugly, you're not checking for him as much. You're not checking for him as much. If you don't got that much money, you ain't checking for him as much. That's
part of the problem. That's what you just said.
Being too nonchalant is part of the fucking problem.
No, you treating the guy that's ugly, the guy that's not rich, like a piece of shit. He's the catch. He's actually the catch. He's the catch, because the guy that you trying to treat, the guy that's rich, that's the guy that got the options. That's the guy that's gonna leave you hanging. That's the guy that's gonna dip out for 6 months at a time and come back. That's the guy that's now broke dudes can do the same thing. Don't get it wrong. But what I'm saying is that mindset that you just described is part of the problem in the Black community.
Well, you gotta let me finish the whole statement, because the whole statement is we're saying the same thing. What happens is they make the exception for the rich guy, for the attractive guy. And that's why I said you got to treat every guy how you would treat if he was ugly. Because if the rich guy was ugly or broke, you wouldn't be stunting him. You're only calling him back 6 weeks later because he got the money or because he's attractive. But if you didn't like him, if he was ugly to you, you would keep it moving. So this is why I'm saying, in the mindset of the women, to communicate, no guy is the exception. Okay,
We're not going to do that.
No, you can't. Two things can't be true, Rashad.
Listen. LeBron James decided he wasn't going to play in the All-Star game an hour before the All-Star game. You know why he's able to do that? Because he's LeBron James. Life is full of exceptions. We can't. No. We're not going to do that. Life is full of exceptions. You have to make exceptions for exceptional people. Because what's the point of being exceptional if you're not going to make exceptions for an exceptional person? That's the whole point of being exceptional.
Okay. Shout out to LeBron James. We're not talking about basketball. We're talking about dating, and we're talking about how we're going to be treated. Hold on, let me get this out. But you gotta let me get this out. It doesn't matter at the end of the day if he's rich, if he's treating you like, if he's not showing up for you, if he's not there for you. What does his money matter? What does his access matter? What does his good looks matter if you are not benefiting from it, if he's not going to treat you the way he should be treated? And this is why I'm saying do not make exceptions for treatment, because it does not matter at the end of the day. LeBron James has a wife. Only his wife gets his treatment. So if you want to be a wife, no matter who LeBron James is, that position's taken. Keep it moving. You don't make an exception for that. If you want to be a wife, he's a married man. So we're talking about relationships.
Kendra, let me reframe the question. You make exceptions for exceptional people. Meaning, if somebody's treating you bad, you don't make exceptions for that. But what I'm saying is that you're gonna make exceptions for if it can't call you for a day, you making an exception for him. because he's not a regular person. So there's a reason why he's not calling you, right? He's traveling, he's working. He's going to be able to provide a certain lifestyle that
building for the future.
It's a thing called a seesaw. You yourself have to be willing to accept certain things and make exceptions for certain things if you want the benefits and the rewards of certain things. No benefit comes without risk, right?
But what's the benefit of? But I got to jump in and let me tell you why I still disagree with this, because I understand Ian has this wonderful lifestyle. He's an exceptional man. But what I'm learning is that's not what I need or what I want. I want a man that I can see 5 days a week. I want a man that can show up for me when I need him to show up for me. Now, I respect that Ian is this amazing man, but what I'm learning is his exceptional manhood is not the man for me, because he can't show up for me when I need it. And we're kind of saying the same. This is why I don't want to I hate the word ugly, but I just use that because these are the men that a lot of times women can disregard easily, right? Like if they feel like he don't got money, he's not attractive, they keep it on push easy, right? But then they make the exceptions for the men that you're describing. But I'm going to stand 10 toes down. Do not make exceptions for those men if you know they can't provide you what you want in the long term. If they're not going to show up for you in the way you want to be showed up for, if your goal is to be a wife and you know that this man is exceptional and yes, he got access, but he's never going to be my husband, keep it on push, because that's what happens. You just waste your time for an exceptional man who's never going to lock you down.
Quick question for you. Do you think because of social media, men and women both disregard each other and discard of each other too quickly because they think they have more options than they really do?
Absolutely. It's a buffet. Really, here's the deal. If you are a long-term dater, the world is of your oasis. Like you can date forever and there's a lot of options for dating, nice weekends, maybe months, but I do stand, if you are looking for marriage, I don't think that pool is as wide. I think most people who are looking for someone to marry, they have particular things that have to align for that. And then you will learn that pool isn't as wide as the pool as a serial dater. But some people are happy with serial dating. Like not everybody wants to get married. Like there's some people have decided that, listen, I can live a fulfilled, happy life without becoming a husband or without becoming a wife. It's a new time. It's not the time back. There's a lot of women who are doing well financially, so they can afford to pay for their lifestyle. Back in the day, Big Mama didn't have an option. She had to deal with Big Daddy's bullshit because even if she didn't care, she couldn't afford to leave. Also, she didn't have social media to throw it in her face. You didn't meet the other children to the funeral, right? It wasn't until you met your other aunt and your other uncle that he had a whole family down south until the funeral. It wasn't a Snapchat, an IG, or Facebook that you can watch it in real time, and that makes it more difficult to accept. So I think you got to decide what type of dating style you want. And I want to go back to Rashad because I know Rashad's sitting here as an exceptional man. We've had these off-record conversations. No, you should give me grace. I deserve at least 3 months. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't deserve no 3 months. A girl should decide as she's dating you within a few weeks how you're treating her. Is this what she wants? Do the benefits that you provide benefit her.
Kendra. You run a show called Singles, right?
I do.
So that means everybody that comes on your show is single, right?
Yes. And yes. And I will say this, yes, sometimes we get married people looking for a person to add on. We get transgender people. Yes.
That was
I get a lot sometimes it's the wife. Yeah.
That was a spicy one. But all right, let's talk about because we talk about that too, but let's talk about this. When I say unrealistic expectations, right? You telling a woman that she should have 2 weeks of dating, and then from that 2 weeks of dating, it should be a decision on that's unrealistic.
Okay, I agree with that. Yes. What I'm saying is weeks. I'm just saying that, yes, I can agree with you there. 2 weeks is not enough time. So we agree on that. But what I will say, because we were more so talking about exceptional, and you brought LeBron James, who really is not even a good example because he's a unicorn. Like some people say they're a unicorn. No, LeBron James literally is a unicorn walking our planet. He's one of one, right? We can't compare him to pretty much anybody. But I guess what I'm saying overall, and this is why I said treat every man like he's ugly. A lot of times women make a lot of exceptions for men of your caliber, and there could be some grace, but at some point in time, you got to recognize, what do you want? Like, women say that they're the prize, but then they become the chaser. You can't be the prize and the chaser. Both just don't.
I ask you a question. Do most women, say this for Grace, do most women know how to treat and keep an exceptional man?
Let's get into it, child. One thing, I want to go back, and this is something with you guys. So we did Invest Fest, and I was a part of Invest Fest. Thank y'all so much for having me. But y'all had a dinner after, right? And I remember, because I'm in this dating space now. I said, every girl in this room is gorgeous. Like, it was like, I don't know if the requirement was you had to be the most beautiful girl to be invited, but every girl in the room, I was like, these are all 10s, like beautiful and a lot. So going back to your just know how to keep, I will say this. There's a lot of women who are married to what we consider exceptional men. And I always tell women, become friends with those wives, because they're never going to really share with you on social media what they're dealing with, but they might be dealing with things that you might not be willing to deal with for the greater good. Now, I don't want to use famous couples in particular, but I think we all live in a space where we know women who are married to what we will all consider exceptional men, attractive millionaires, and behind closed doors, there's things going on that they'll never talk about on social media, right?
Yeah.
So I try to give insights, and the best way I give insight with that is become friends with those wives. Learn the truth of what they're dealing with to keep that type of man, right? So I will say no. I will say that most women do not know the requirements that come on my show. Let me say that come on my show don't really know the requirements that come along with this man they say they want. And I think one of the things they disregard a lot of is a lot of energy of he cheats, he goes out. A lot of times the woman is coming for your man. Like, you might have a guy who ain't even looking for it, but women are ruthless and they will come for your rich, fine, accessible man because they don't give a shit about you. All they care about is what they can benefit. So I hate to keep the man line, but if we're going to talk about this type of man you guys are describing, I don't think a lot of women that call me know the reality of what it's going to take. But how about this? We have, without giving all the secrets, what are some of the things you think women should know if they want a man like that?
A man like what?
A man that we consider exceptional, a part of the 10 or 1% category, attractive, has money, moves around. What should these women know?
9 times out of 10, because you can't speak. There's always going to be exception to the rule.
Yeah, it's going to be exception.
Right.
9 times out of 10, you're not going to be a normal person mentally. Meaning, if you reach the level of success, like, you got to understand, it's almost impossible to reach a certain level of success as a black man. Like, you become a millionaire, you become whatever, like, you become a successful entrepreneur. Like, that's damn near impossible. What you had to go through to get to that is not normal. You had to deal with family, you had to deal with relationships, you had to overcome this, you had to go broke, you had to bet on yourself, you had to stay up to 5 o'clock in the morning, you had to travel across the country, you had to, have sleepless nights, you had to battle depression, you had to go through all of that. You're not a normal person mentally. That's important for people to understand, because it's like a lot of times when you're with these people, you don't think that, but these people, they might be introverts, they might be insecure, they might not even want to speak to nobody. Like, you got to be able, I think somebody has said this to us, you got to be able to almost be their therapist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times people are there for just the ride. They're there because they see somebody is successful and they want the fruit of that labor, but they never want to pour into that person. They never want to pour into that person, right? Because it's like, you see a lot of these celebrities and they have issues, and you're like, why this person got issues? Like, he's rich or they rich, but it's like you don't understand mentally what they had to go through, and nobody ever wants to pour into the rich person. There's no sympathy for the king
at all.
you know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's trying to get something from that person to better their life. But it's like, I think going into that situation, you should go into it with a giver's mentality, with a listening mentality, with an understander's mentality of like, what have you gone through? How can I help you? Like, how can we unpack certain things like in your life? Like, how can I make this better? How can I make your life better? And just sometimes that type of person is not going to ask for help because they had to go through so much that they don't feel comfortable asking for anything. So it's on you to actually be a good observer and do things for a person without them actually asking for it. The appreciation that somebody will have for you when you do something for them without them asking for it is probably the highest level of appreciation ever, especially somebody that very few people actually ever think about doing something for. Nobody, like you think of charity, you think about people that's less fortunate. Nobody ever thinks about doing something for somebody that's fortunate, right? But
yes, right.
People that are fortunate, they need help too.
Right.
Facts. And a bunch of areas too.
So I think those are all, I think that's good insight, right? I have a lot of women who are willing to be that type of woman to their man. Does attraction matter? Does she have to be able to do that and be attractive?
For
attraction is the number one thing when it comes to human, like when we were first put on earth, right? Like we are attracted to people. That's it. Mm-hmm. Now I think you can learn to love somebody and not physically, and they're not the top 10 for you. You see that all the time, especially with women. Yeah. You guys, I don't think looks matter for women, right?
No, no, because when I get attractive guys on the show, attractive and money is jackpot. But sometimes attraction still will pull the women in further than the money. I've had men who had money, but because they didn't have swag, couldn't really pull the women all the way. So I'm going to say for women, like I literally had a guy who was out of jail. He got my Facebook page banned. He was out of jail. He had a gun. This is a true story. He had a gun behind him. He had weed behind him. Crazy stuff. I didn't even put his contact info because he was so crazy. The women were hitting me up like, yo, what was his contact? I'm like, yo, you're going to die with this man. What are you talking about? So no, I have to say.
Bad boy vibes. Women love danger.
But Rashad, the reason I brought up attraction is because when I asked you what type of qualities get that type of man, you led with characteristic. But the truth of the matter is, if she's not attractive and has that characteristic, she doesn't have a shot.
Yes, you're right.
Right. And that's the part we can't negate, because I got a lot of women who have those characteristic qualities, but I'm not sure if she will fit your attraction qualities. So really, you want the attractive girl to then act like that. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because the girl that's attractive, she got a lot of options too. She got a lot of, like, she's moving. If you liked her, that means there's a lot of other men that liked her, because it took a lot for you to say, you know what? I think you're dope. You're not the only guy that's feeling that way.
But you know what? Also, you bring up a good point. This is a good conversation, because what happens also is it's a pretty girl syndrome. When pretty girls, they've been pretty much their whole life. By the time they get to like 14, they're already being courted, right? And guys are already going out of their way to do whatever they want for them, right? So they never really had to do much as far as like be considerate and pour into somebody, and they never so you got to cultivate those skills in life, right? You got to cultivate skills in life. They never had to learn how to cook. They never had to learn how to actually sit and have a conversation that's deeper than, you know, just some bullshit, because they've almost been objectified as like a Christmas tree ornament, right? Mm-hmm. That's detrimental to them, because at some point in time, your looks are going to start to fade and you're going to get older and you don't have any real substance. It's detrimental to the guys, because like you said, if a guy's looking for just a pretty girl, they're going to get a pretty girl that's super shallow a lot of time, not all the time, because so now it's a cycle of dysfunction. And like you said, the women, the good women, sometimes if they're not attractive, they're going to get overlooked by that guy, but there is somebody for everybody, so they'll connect with
That's
a certain
a lie.
person.
Why do we say that? You know, everybody doesn't get a romantic partner.
Most people don't move around enough and improve themselves enough to get that partner, though.
Well, I think that, see, this is a luxury that men have. So, like, men, you guys have time on your side, right? Like, first of all, you get the grace of not being in a relationship. Like, you could show up with a different woman to a different event and no one judges you. If anything, the men salute you. Like, he always got a baddie. He always got a baddie. A woman doesn't get the same luxury. Look how Lori Harvey was being judged during her dating spin. She, every time she had a new man, oh, she this, she that. But if it was a guy, it wouldn't have been judged. Also, if a man makes himself into something with money, at some point in time, there's always going to be a girl, might be shallow reasons because she's coming to you because of the money. You will always be able to have a somebody. Women get, and people get so mad when I enlighten them, but you don't even need me to say this. I think God is good, and your somebody might be your mother, it might be your best friend, it might be a coworker, but everyone does not end up with a romantic partner. It's just not the truth. And I think that if people can understand that, then they won't disregard relationships as much if it's workable. A lot of times, a lot of the relationships that people desire, they went through things. They just didn't give up. It wasn't like he didn't cheat. It wasn't like a baby wasn't created by somebody else. Like, it wasn't those things. It was, they decided we're going through this until we see Jesus, and that's the end of the story. And they decided to work through all the challenges that happen within life. But back to what we said earlier, everyone feels like they have so many options. So it's like, I'll just find something better. And they just kind of go on that train. And I think for, like, Rashad, I'm not even sure if you want to be a husband or not, but it doesn't matter to me if you do or don't. That's your own personal decision. But for a man like you, it's like, I can get married when I'm 50 if I want to. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I done did everything I wanted to do. I don't know if women have that same luxury.
No, you're right. You're right. As far as not for me, but I'm just saying, as far as a man ages differently than a woman ages. You could be Michael Jordan he's married, but I'm just saying, if Michael Jordan wasn't married, Bill Belichick is with somebody that's 22 years old.
It's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Fucking
Bill
crazy.
Belichick, for the people who don't know, because I know just because I know football, he's the coach of who?
He used to coach the Patriots.
He's the Patriots, that's right. The coach of the Patriots.
He's 60. He's 60. How old is he? 67, something like that.
64, something like that. Yeah.
It's no disrespect, Bill Belichick. He's the greatest coach of all time, but he's a fat white guy. Like, he's not special about him.
None to look at.
Physically, he's special as far as who he is, but as far as look, and his girlfriend is like a fit 22-year-old. Like, she's in shape, she's fit. What does a 22-year-old have anything in common with a 67-year-old? Other than
life insurance,
he's a successful man. The roles very rarely get reversed. Sometimes they get reversed, like Madonna, but most of the time, women age, and I hate to say it like this, but the value, the physical value goes down. Physical.
Yes, I will say that. It's just, this is why I go back to what you want, right? You really got to play the game for the best way that it works for you. So I want to ask you guys this, because I don't want to lose this opportunity to have these two men on this conversation. What do you think?
Belichick is 72?
He's 72. Bill Belichick
is 72.
That really should be illegal, to be quite honest. Like that, like she's just one, she just kind of made it. I don't know where her parents are, because
older than her dad, probably.
I wonder, I judge the parents, because why are her parents jumping in? But this is a money situation, and that the only benefit is the money. So maybe she's giving her parents money, but I feel like that's more so for her parents to say, we don't agree to this. I don't care how rich he is, but that's another conversation. Let me ask you guys this. What do y'all think about cheating? Should women leave a guy if he cheats?
Ian, what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts, Ian?
Can you hear me?
Good brother Ian Dunlap. I mean, I'll say this. I think there's two types of cheaters.
Oh my God.
I think there's the cheater that goes out Friday night to the bar looking for said person to cheat with. This is the person that's in person's DMs. This person actively is going out of their way to engage in outside of the situation. There's another situation of something that potentially happens. Not saying that either one is right or wrong. I'm just laying it out for you. This is somebody that's, doesn't cheat, doesn't do anything, and is in Las Vegas for a work retreat, and one thing leads to the next, has too many drinks and ends up sleeping with his coworker. I'm not saying that that's okay. No. I'm just being, this is blackout. So we just have real conversations. So I feel that there's no thing of whether a woman should stay or not. Every person has to make a decision for themselves. But I do think that there's some level of grace that should be provided. Like, if this isn't a person's character, right? Like, you're gonna throw away your whole situation because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the grand scheme of things, is that really that deep to you? I don't think so. Like, some of our greatest leaders have had infidelity, right? That doesn't mean that they're not great people. They just had weak moments. Then there's another situation that we got to talk about as far as if monogamy is even a real thing, right? Is that something that's forced upon people that's causing people to cheat? That's a more deeper conversation, but that's part of it too, right? Is that even, what does cheating really even mean? If you with somebody and you are good to them and you're doing everything for them, whatever, like, you being with somebody else doesn't negate what you're doing for them.
Now, let me jump in before we go to if monogamy is a real thing. The scenario that you gave, obviously we gave it in the male's perspective. Now, same scenario, whether it's a person going out on a Friday looking for something, or just something happens on a Las Vegas trip. Let's flip it to the woman. Let's say that was a woman. Should the guy stay with that woman, or does he give her grace?
I'm being real. A lot of these lames stay. I'm gonna be real. This why.
Okay, but listen, why'd you call it a lame if he stays? So but if a woman stays, why is it a lame if he stays? But if the woman stays, she's giving the guy grace. Men
and women are different.
And the other point, the other point I will say, fellas, a lot of, if you're really that dude and you're on your shit and you're honest, she may bring the fun to you. A lot of y'all lie too fucking much.
Okay, but I still want to get an answer to the question though, because I feel like y'all not giving. So basically, you're saying if the woman cheated, the guy shouldn't stay.
Men and women are different. This isn't to say what's right or what's wrong. Okay, there's societies from the beginning of time to now where having multiple wives is acceptable. That happens to this day. There's never been a time in history where it's been widespread to have multiple husbands. There's probably been one tribe here and there historically that has happened, but that has never been widely accepted, right? You look at Ramses, he had 62 wives. There's never been a queen that had 52 husbands. So what I'm saying is that we do have to have some level of realistic conversation.
We do, but I think it's unrealistic to negate what a woman goes through when she's cheated on. I think that, all we do is we give these.
I don't think we're negating it.
Well, but hold on, because the one thing you said is men and women are different, right? And we are different, so there's no argument there. But I think there's a lack of understanding what a woman goes through when she's cheated on, right? And regardless of how much he's providing, how much he shows up, it's the trust factor is gone. The fact that you shared your body with somebody else, the fact that you endanger my body, because who knows, I got to now get an STD check.
Well, but
you got to let me get it out, Rashad. So I know what you're saying, and you are right. This has happened from the end of time. But this is why women have started to make their own money, because in reality, they can't deal with it. I don't want to deal with the man that I have to accept in my soul that he's going to be with other women, because that's just what comes with this type of territory. Now, I should turn a blind eye to that, but there's a lot of women that are like, no, I physically, spiritually cannot accept me being with a man that I know has to be with other women. If that's what you're on, God bless your soul. Find the girls that can get with it. Yep. I'm not even going to judge. This is why I said transparency to me matters, because now I can decide if I want to participate. I don't judge Neo. Neo is being very transparent. All the women know what's going on. Yep. They all agree that is I have no judgment for that because they all know what's going on. They're adults and they decided to participate. But if you are going to be sneaky because cheating is being deceitful, you cannot expect the woman to say, I can't do this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look, listen, I don't agree with cheating because I feel like when you're lying, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, right? Because it's like you gotta try hard to cover up a lie. It's just not even worth it. So I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I agree with cheating. I'm just laying out the situations, right? And I'm saying that it's for each person to deal with that. I'm not going to condemn somebody that catches their husband cheating and stays with them because I understand that.
But if the man stays, you call him a lame. If he caught his wife and stayed, you call that man a lame. So you won't condemn the woman, but if the man does the same thing, he's a lame. Why is that?
Well, I'm saying that men and women. Well, first of all, I'm not calling anybody a lame. They can do whatever they want, right?
I said it. Like Montoya saw his girl getting pounded out on insulated Tatian, and you watch it, and then you stay. Yo, she got pounded out again another time on the next episode.
Yeah,
my boy.
It's not the same, Kendra. Traditionally, men have been hunters and gatherers, right, and protectors and providers. Women have been caregivers and nurturers. Now, a woman can be a provider too. I'm not sexist. We live in a society where it takes two incomes 90% of the time, and a lot of women are single, so they have to provide for themselves. But what I'm just saying is that just in the core aspect of it, a man penetrates somebody, a woman gets penetrated. A man conquers something. A woman, so there's a give and take. There's a yin and yang to this, right? We can't make both sexes the same. That would. What's the point of having two different sexes? We need a masculine and a feminine. That's what you need in society. You need masculine and feminine. You don't need masculine. You don't need feminine. That causes issues, right? If there's no balanced energy in this world, then the world is off balance. And if the world is off balance, then everything is not going to work properly. It all works in divine order. So what I'm saying is that there's some actions that happen, right or wrong, that are going to be received differently if a man does it than a woman does it.
Well, I would say, I mean, you guys are men, so y'all know more, but I think y'all also are the exceptional men, right? So I have men that call my show that can't get women. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like,
how can we help them?
Huh?
How can we help them get women? What does a man need to do to be irresistible?
You could do one of those here's the deal. You could do one of those courses that people do online. I could teach you how, but some things you're just born with, right? Some things you're just born with. And I have men that you have to perfect their confidence. There's a lot of different things, right? Get
it back. Elon Musk has Asperger's syndrome and has 13 kids, 4 baby moms. Nobody cares. He can't probably hold the conversation. He's rich.
Right.
Get it back.
You're right. Now,
but it's a lot of rich lames out there too who still not getting no women.
But also what you said earlier, Rashad, it's not easy for every black man to become a millionaire, right?
No, it's not.
Getting a bag just isn't always the easiest solution for every guy. But the point I wanted to make overall is, you said earlier, is monogamy even realistic? And listen, I was a kid when Chris Rock gave this joke, but now that I'm adult, there's so many things now resonate. And he said, a man is as faithful as his options. I think that is the truth. I mean, there's a lot of men who just got so many options of women that it might be a challenge for them. Then there's other men who do not have that much option. So being faithful, they're actually looking. There's a lot of reasons. Some men aren't well endowed. Let's just get to the real shit.
Yo.
No, because this is real. Like, some men aren't well endowed, so they don't want a lot of women to know. So they're okay with one woman. They want to get one woman.
I've never heard. You know what, Kendra? I've never heard that one. I've never.
Because y'all not have it. Because what happens is you're rating all men like you rate yourself, and it's just not the fact.
I've never heard. Okay, let's talk about that before we wrap this, because
I've never want to talk about that, because I want to get. Because we don't talk about that enough.
Let's talk about the app.
Oh, the app. Can I just, I want to just wrap that up. Yes, these are sometimes the men who will date you for a while before they have sex with you, because every time they have sex with a woman and a woman realizes she can't be satisfied, she keeps it moving. So
I've never heard this before.
That's because you don't talk to single people. And you don't have enough girlfriends. And listen, just like y'all got barber talk, we got girlfriends talk. So it's
So
like,
you would end a relationship with a guy because
I'm not saying. Well, I'm taking me out of it. I'm talking about real conversations that women have had with their girlfriends. And yes, he was small. I'm not going back. Yes, he was a nice guy, or they might stay with him and then they may cheat because they're not being satisfied. Like, I think there's a lot of conversations that men don't know that women have. Some men have ED. It just is what it is. He can't get hard.
You could fix that. Viagra.
Some men don't even want to accept it. So how can you fix it when you're not willing to even acknowledge it?
Oh, you got to acknowledge it. That's why Viagra is $1 billion.
Not the noodle on Valentine's Day. That's crazy.
Well, okay, you're right. I will just say this. Every man doesn't have the same dating options. And this is why there are men who will be more than willing to be monogamous. But I don't want to make it all bad men. There are exceptional men who are attractive, will use the Russell Wilson, who love to be with one woman, love to have a family, and doesn't want to go outside of that sanctuary.
There's a lot. There's plenty.
There's plenty. Yes, there's plenty. So yes.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this app.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, basically the app, like Rashad even said when he was on the show, he saw the reach. One thing I learned is I started on Instagram. We grew to Facebook. We grew to YouTube. We even do TikTok. And what I would realize is everybody's their own world. So like the Facebookers didn't really go to Instagram, but they created a page because they wanted to see the show. Then the Instagrammers were done with Facebook, but they got back on Facebook because they wanted to see the show. So I realized people are going to these platforms because of the show. And like you mentioned earlier, Elon Musk, shout out to all these rich white people. But I'm like, I gotta be an owner, because if I have something that I can create my own platform and own it, like I think of Tyler Perry, I think of Oprah. It's like I wanted to own the platform that had everything. And then the dating apps is a very successful industry. So now we have the Kendra G singles dating app. We launched it a year ago. I'm new to the tech world. I'm not just a host now. Now I'm part of the technology world. And there was things I had to learn. But we have the right company, and soon the live shows will be on the app. So you'll have to be on the app to meet people. So I'm very, very excited for that. Yes.
What's the name of the app?
The name is so easy to remember. Kendra G Singles. My name.
Kendra G Sing, and that's in the App Store?
Yeah, App Store, iPhone, pull it up. I know you got more than one phone. Pull up on your second phone, Rashad.
I have one phone.
That is not true. I do not believe you have one phone.
It's 100% true.
Really? You have one phone?
Yeah, he got one phone.
Why do you need two phones?
You are
one for business, one for pleasure.
You are a liar. You do not have no one phone.
No, for real. Now I got two, but he has one.
I have one phone.
You got one phone.
So you have one? Okay, well, most men of you guys caliber, I actually have three phones, but I work in the technology business. Ooh. Yeah, I have three phones. But in one phone,
you're heartbreaking for real. What? 3 phones crazy. What?
Well, I have 3 phones. I have like 5 iPads because, it's a little different. Like, I run a technology, I host a show, so I have to have a lot of phones. But for the most part, most people have 2 phones. So I'm surprised you only have one. But either way, yes, it's in the App Store, the Android store. Type in Kendra G Singles, download it. It's an official dating app. Okay, so it's not no bootleg app. It costs a lot of money, and I pay all the bills, so I know. But
you swipe.
You can swipe. You can even DM. We call it shoot your shot. So before you
have you had any success stories yet?
Yeah. So the app launched. Okay. So here's the deal. We have. I want to say. Well, we have the show and the app, right? So the show launched 5 years ago. At least 9 marriages from the show.
Congratulations.
I want to think okay, I can't give the baby count because we got some secret babies coming. They haven't announced I gotta let them to announce it. But babies have been created. Countless weekend trips. Countless. So a lot of hookups have happened from the show and the app where people have met each other, flew out, spent a weekend together, made a date 3 months. Like I'm literally playing clips today of a girl who caught in, met a guy. She didn't like him. He caught in after to give his side to the story. So a lot of those have happened. And what's dope about my show that's different than other dating apps is it's worldwide, right? So most apps, you're going to meet somebody in your area. Whereas with the show, you could be in Atlanta and watching from Houston. Like, oh, that girl in Atlanta was dope. Let me connect. Like the marriages that have happened, none of them were in the same state. And they all stand by. We would have never met if it wasn't for your show, because that's how I saw her. Like, we didn't live in the same state. We wasn't moving in the same circle. So the show connects people from all around the world. Kendra G Singles is the dating app.
There you have it.
That's
Kendra,
fire.
always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
I'm mad you
Amazing
cut off
energy.
my small, the non, and like the small. That's what men always do. Men don't ever want to talk about.
Y'all gotta learn how to fuck better, yo. Come on, she don't want to say it. She gonna keep it clean. Legend. Some of y'all be getting y'all girls taken. You know who did. You know what? Well, you know who, because you couldn't do what you were supposed to do.
Allegedly.
Then y'all want to talk all this. Yo, I'm the prize. If you got a noodle, you are not a prize, my G. You are not a. Sorry.
That's why some of those men have great actions, mouth actions. That's what they say.
Yeah, Kendra's crazy. All right, Kendra. Thank you for your time. Always a pleasure. We gotta do this again. We'll do this again. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mr. Munch is crazy.
Kendra G, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, shout out to Kendra G. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Moment.
That's hilarious.
You know, this episode took a turn that I wasn't really prepared for, but
I see you got it comfortable.
I'm just the voice of the people, Ian. It's not, you know, I want people to fully understand this. I'm not speaking from my own personal situation, my own personal
disclaimer, please.
Yes. I do think that it is important for us to have honest conversations. So, you know, I've been around and I've seen different things happen, and I like to speak for the people specifically for men, and give an alternative. It may not be a popular opinion,
yes,
but it's a needed alternative opinion. We need to hear different opinions,
perspectives for sure. Yeah, I agree.
What do you think
regarding
everything?
I honestly, I think both sides. I think I'm not a relationship expert. I have no desire to be. We got to have a conversation about tonight's conversation breaking up too. Maybe next week.
Oh, they broke it. Official.
Shout the trip. So, viral. Anyway, I think too many people focus on the options that they have in the future and not cherishing the one that they have. Because the next option, and I think this happens in business and life, because of social media, everyone thinks that something better is out there, and sometimes the thing that you have right now may be the best thing that you ever get. And I think it's too much selfishness. People don't want to work through shit. The cheating thing, I think my only thing is like don't lie. If you're gonna cheat, man or woman, yo, be like, this is what I'm doing.
What were you about to say? You said I think what were you about to say?
I think everybody should just be honest about what they're doing and not lie about it.
Cheating to me is you know, it's one of these things.
It's more of a moral thing.
It's more of a headache than anything, because it's like,
for sure. And that's the other conversation we gotta have, especially if you're a higher tier. There's too much to lose what come with cheating, especially in this era. For sure. Lawsuits, babies, STDs, scandal, end up on Shade Room. It's not worth it. You have a baby by a bird. Now you got a dinosaur you got to take care of.
If you're cheating, if you're cheating and you don't use a condom, that's crazy.
Insane. And a lot of men are doing it.
You can't love that person that you're with at all.
At all. Psycho behavior.
Yeah.
Psycho behavior. But I just want people to be more honest, and because if you really having it how you say that you do, you'll go bust your move, do it respectfully. She'll let you do it and still come back home. A lot of y'all just be lying so fucking much. And I won't speak for women, but a lot of times they're more disappointed in the character with you as a man to not be honest with her and give her an option opposed to. So that's why, like, the people who are super critical of stuff online, I'm like, be careful if people know your real life while you being critical. And I'm gonna say this too: a lot of y'all who criticize, I would never in life, like even when I was on the trip, somebody's like, that jacket ain't it. Your life ain't it. I wouldn't swap my life for yours, no day. I want y'all go hit that Google, hit that net worth, and see what y'all. Shut the fuck up talking to me, yo. The other side of me that is still there. I'm just choosing to be kind and loving. But it's still there. A lot of that psychotic Kendrick shit I'm with. That's my bag. Chill out, yo. I went to this page. Boy, you and your whole 1982 Frigidaire. And shut up, bro. Shout out to the people at Montclair. I'll say that too. Yo, you should have got the Montclair. I was with the Montclairs. Yo, bitch ass up, yo. Talking to me, yo. You gotta be of a certain ilk to, you know what I mean? At a certain level. Yo, you gotta be at a certain tier to even have some of these conversations. And I'm still humble and a servant of God. But you gotta be at a certain tier to have these conversations with me.
Oh,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Chill out. Chill out. Now what you dropping your girl off at work and taking that Malibu back home. Shut up, yo. But these are just jokes written by 85 South, DC Young Fly, Chico B, and Red Fox. I love y'all so much. Yeah.
All right.
The damn Big Meech concert got canceled. 50. Another psycho. Hold your head, Meech. It's too late. But y'all better call Curtis and fix that shit up before they get old girl and old boy on film. I'm not a street dude. Shout the dude, hold your head, love you. Shout the S class, everybody in BMF. Y'all better start making some calls. Going back to lying, the promises you keep or don't deliver are either going to make or break your life. A lot of times when these women be scorned, it's not right, but they're scorned because you made certain promises of what you was going to do in the future. Then you get your bag and then you don't keep them promises. They're going to try and tear that whole motherfucking thing down off of lies. That's why I'm not big on lying. If you I fucked up, my bad, today. I came in late, Rashad, my bad being late, traffic. Just be accountable. You motherfuckers be lying and then have the whole world be mad at you. Yo, chill out. Chill out.
Chill out.
I know.
Chill out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The views expressed on Blackout are solely for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
And
they're AI written by Perplexity at Google.
For sure.
Yep.
It's only for engagement.
Yep, for real.
Okay. All right.
Are we hypocritical, Rashad? There's another comment. You guys are so hypocritical. You say one thing 1 week and do another thing, and I'm like, okay.
Tupac back.
Wait, hold on. You said Kendrick to knock Tupac out of the top 5?
We got to talk about that next week.
Okay.
We got to talk about that next week because that deserves its full. That deserves its full explanation behind that.
Gotcha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real. Tune in tomorrow at 9:00. We on Earn Your Leisure YouTube channel. We'll be talking about how to buy a car. Yeah. How to buy a car, 9:00. If you have any interest in leasing, buying a car, financing, used car, new car, put a car in business name, all that type of stuff. 9:00 tomorrow. It's been real, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember, these are just jokes.
Written by Carlos. It's your fault.
85 South. 85
and Money Man.
South and Money Man. That is a fact. Love.